Hello, I'm finally getting my day started, but most important thing is that summerween has kicked off, and with I thought my chair just broke for a second. Okay, with summerween now kicking off, it started technically yesterday. I was working, I was tired, I had to finish a completely different book. But I did finish my first book. It was a bit of a letdown. So I read a 2-star book, which is interesting because this book is actually really popular. I think I was just under the wrong impressions of what it was going to be. So I have some questions for you by Rebecca Mackay, I think. And this is pitched on Goodreads, which we know Goodreads isn't always accurate, but you can get a good feel for something most of the time. And this is pitched as literary, thriller, dark academia. Heavily pitched as mystery thriller, though. So I was like, cool. I like dark academia. I like mystery thrillers. This is really popular. So I thought I would give it a try. Also, I have a ghost on my sweatshirt for the atmosphere. So this story is basically following this woman, Bodhi, who is a professor, and she goes back to kind of like her small hometown and is teaching kids how to be a podcaster because she co-hosts a, I believe, true crime podcast. And so she goes back, and this girl in her class, I think there's like 3 students that take her podcast class. So this girl wants to do her podcast on the teacher Bodhi's best friend / roommate's murder. I believe her name is Talia, and she is a victim of, it seems to be, sexual assault and murder. And this book falls very flat for me personally. And there's other reviews out there that agree, so I know that it's not just me. And if you're interested in a better review of this book than what I'm able to give, definitely check out Goodreads reviews for every book ever that you're interested in. It's just a good way to get perspective. But I did listen to the audiobook, and I didn't love the narrator. I could not stand Bodhi as a character. She was insufferable. She was so conceited. Everything revolved around her, even though she's not a victim herself. And I just thought it was a very different way to have this topic. A lot of people get a lot out of this. It is one of the most popular books of the year, so clearly there's an audience for it and people enjoy it. But I just felt like it was trying to talk about so much that it fell flat in really diving into any topic. Like, this is happening during the pandemic, and I really enjoyed the end, like the last 25%, where they're in the trial, in the court case, like testifying and stuff. I thought that was kind of interesting and cool. I think that I might surprisingly be a trial thriller lady. I don't know. We'll investigate that someday. But I just felt like it fell flat. I didn't like the character. I didn't feel any really strong emotions or feel like I gained anything from it. There's the subplot of Bodhi's boyfriend or husband or whatever also like being canceled on Twitter because when he was 30 he had a relationship with a 21-year-old student that wasn't his student but was his student. I'm not really sure. It was a little unclear. And Bodhi is like a full apologist for her husband, but like jumps on the bandwagon of believing other victims. And so there's just a lot of back and forth and a lot of commentary, and I think it could have been done well if it didn't try to do so much all the time. I think if it just scaled back to a couple conversations, I would have enjoyed it more. I think the writing was well done, and I'm actually interested in their backlist because I've heard better reviews for their other books, so that's something I want to look into. But yes, that was my first one. It wasn't really a thriller at all, so I feel like it doesn't count towards Summerween, but it was an attempt. It was an attempt. Here, though, next to me, I have the 3 physical books that I'm going to read for Summerween, and then there's 2, technically there's another one. I don't know if I'll get to it. I'm being incredibly hopeful to, but that would require me like reading more this weekend than I was anticipating. But I have The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas for set in the fall. Is this set in the fall? I actually do not know. But it's gothic and it's set in Mexico and it's got fall vibes. So we're going to count it. Even if it's not fall setting, it has fall vibes. And we're just going to say it's good. And then we've got Monster Volume 1 by Naoki Urasawa. This is Volume 1 of Monster, the horror manga. This is a 9 manga volume series. I love and adore these covers so much, and I cannot wait to have the other ones. Mangas are an expensive hobby, though, so I'm trying to be cool and chill, but I also have gift cards if I need to buy them immediately. But I'm so excited. I don't know a lot about what this is about besides, like, a doctor saving a kid, and from there, I have no idea. And then the final physical book I have is The Last Word by Taylor Adams, one of the most anticipated thrillers of 2023. I'm so excited to finally be getting to this. This is so high on my list of priorities, but I think I'm going to hold off on reading it until Monday, which is the last day of summerween, because, and we'll see, this might flip-flop. The other two that I'm going to listen to audibly will be We Spread by Ian Reads, I think, and Stolen Tongues by an author I do not know the name of. That one I have no clue. So, yes, both of those I will be listening to. Oh, this was for the manga prompt. This is for the thriller prompt. And then We Spread is for Orange on the Cover, and Stolen Tongues is for Read a Book in the Dark. Because I think my plan with Stolen Tongues is to listen to it throughout tonight. Once it gets dark, I'll just kind of listen to the audiobook while I do whatever, and hopefully get a little spooky scared. That's my hope. I haven't been scared from a book in quite some time, and I would like to feel chilled. And I know We Spread also has, like, similar stuff. It's got more commentary on Alzheimer's, but, like, in a spooky way, and I'm so intrigued. And then if I'm able to fit anything else, I would really love to read Small Favors. This is a horror by Erin A. Craig, one of my favorite authors, even though I've only read one book from them. This was their 2021 release, and I feel like I have done an injustice to myself for not reading this yet. But I just checked out the audiobook from Libby because it was available, so I definitely have to read it now, right? That's the goal. So I'm incredibly excited. I'm just coming out of a reading slump, so, like, now is the time to read my little butt off. So I think I'm gonna edit a YouTube video and then potentially prep another video, but I really just want to, like, I just want to read. I also have, like, a couple other things that I gotta do, but that's my goal. That's the plan. I'm so excited. So, yes, I'm going to edit, and then I will check in later. Oh, my Lanta. Hello. So, Summerween has officially begun for me. I've started Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell, and this is the story of a couple recently engaged going to her family's cabin in the woods in Colorado. I thought it was Oregon at first. I was gonna freak out. It's Colorado, so it was okay. And she has always had troubles with insomnia, sleep paralysis, nightmares, sleepwalking, all of the fun, terrible things that are so scary. So when they're in this cabin in the woods, things start getting a little freaky, and the prologue is really scary. And it's so unsettling. I'm 25% in. I've just been laying here in the dark for an hour listening to the audiobook, and it's unsettling. Like, I have to open my eyes and, like, look around the room every once in a while to, like, make sure I'm alone, and it's fine. But I'm talking to my friend Emily, who's also reading it, and she's reading the physical book. I'm reading the audiobook, and she had to stop reading last night at the 50% mark because it was freaking her out. And I'm like, that's so fair. Like, I was home alone waiting for Austin to come home listening, and I was like, So I'm excited to continue. I'm really enjoying how freaky it is. I will say that the audiobook, the narrator has a really soothing, calming voice, and it's really nice, but it's got that like juxtaposition of like Carrot the parrot having a really freaky, eerie voice, and like the other characters giving more of an unsettling element, especially the fiance. Like it's unsettling. It's so unsettling. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm excited to continue. I have read a couple Goodreads review. I don't typically try and do that before reading books, just because it does ruin the experience sometimes, and there's definitely a conversation to be had about the Native American influence of this story, but I'm a white American. I can't really speak on that to begin with, but also I know that this was a Reddit story on the No Sleep Reddit, which is like a horror story. So this was just written kind of like by a person and not quite like an author. Obviously everyone can be an author and anyone can write a book, but there's, I think, just like a different element of care when you're just trying to write a story that's gonna make people not sleep, and like try to write the scariest thing, that you're not really gonna be sensitive to cultures. Not trying to excuse it or say that it is okay by any means. I'm just understanding the context of this story better that way, but I haven't gotten to the parts where it's gotten heavily influence of Native American culture yet, but I do understand that that would be an issue for probably a lot of people, or at least some people, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it, so I just wanted to mention it here. I recommend seeking out Native American voices and reviews for this to see like how it impacts their community, rather than a white American's views for just trying to get entertainment and scares out of a story, because that's all I'm reading it for, is just to get scared and hopefully have a good time and enjoy a story. But I did want to put that out there whilst I had ya. Howdy ho. Summerween hoes. I got off work a little while ago. I finished editing a video, which is exporting now, just about done. We're gonna actually go have an impromptu game night with our friends out of nowhere, so I guess I won't be reading tonight. But I finished 2 books today at work for Summerween, finally. So I finished Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell, and it's eerie, it's unsettling, it's scary, it's spooky, it's not comfortable from like the horror aspect inside at the same time alone. It's very eerie, and the narrator does a fantastic job. The narrator is so good. He's got this very nice voice, but does a lot of voices, and they're very good. Adds to the unsettling. But another thing about it is that the author does have an author's note in the back talking about how basically trying to give the intent behind writing horror with indigenous culture imbued into it and revolving kind of around that. And it's got some issues. It didn't quite make the right impact, I think. I read a couple reviews. I highly recommend you read reviews from indigenous reviewers so that you know how those communities actually feel about it. But they haven't loved it. I don't think it's the worst ever from what I've seen, but it really just depends on the person. But there were definitely some stereotypes. There was definitely some not good tropes that I don't even like, but I do read for enjoyment and entertainment and escapism, and that's what this gave me. So I don't have to, obviously it's personal choice. I rated it a 4-star because that's something I really enjoyed. I thought it was fun, but I can recognize the problematic things going on. And I do mention that in my Goodreads review as well. So any reader that reads my review will know how I felt. And then the other thing, I read We Spread by Ian Reid. I feel so dumb. Like, I feel like the stupidest girl on the internet. I don't get it. Why do people cry? Who is scared by this? I don't like the thought of aging. I truly do not want to be an elder. I hate them. That's I hate the idea of it. It's not for me, which is okay. But it didn't really scare me. It was a little bit unsettling because, you know, the thought of losing your memories sucks in general. Like, that doesn't sound like a good time. It does sound scary if you were in that position. But as a 24-year-old, I can't quite relate to that. And it's not something that I am constantly losing sleep over. So I was underwhelmed. It was a very fast read, because Scribd only had the option of 2 times speed or 3 times speed. So I listened to it at 3 times speed, but I like proper paid attention. I understand everything that happened. Understands an overstatement. I listened to everything that happened. I didn't fully understand everything. Hence I don't think I was smart enough for this, because people were talking about how they cry and how like it's so impactful and how they like got all these takeaways, and I was just like, old lady losing memory. Like, I didn't get it. So if you read We Spread and you have feelings, please leave them in the comments below so that I can understand better. I read a couple reviews and I was just like, I don't get it. So I rated it 3.5. Because it was good. I thought the writing was good. I thought the story was fine. I like the characters. I feel like some of it just like went right over my head and I've missed out on something. But I've read it, so I can at least say I'm a part of the group that's read it. Great. But yeah, that's about it for my check-in. I have 2 or 3 more days, 11, 12, 3 more days of summerween, because it's going through till the 13th, which I didn't know until today, or yesterday. But I have 3 more days to finish my other 3 books, Hacienda, Monster, and The Last Word. I'm hoping to read Monster tonight, no matter what time we get home, and then listen to, or like read The Last Word tomorrow and the Hacienda Wednesday. There we go. I'm losing the plot. So I'm gonna go. We're gonna have dinner, and then we're gonna go play games with our friends, and so I'm gonna skedaddle so we can not be late. Hello. Interesting lighting, I know. Happy Summerween. This is still a weekly vlog, so here's my life update. I'm having a little mini glow up today. I got my teeth clean. I just got back from the dentist. I have to take Severo to the vet here soon, and I'm getting a haircut. But I started last night Monster. I was so freaking tired, so I decided to just like call it a loss and not read a lot yesterday. So I'm hoping to finish Monster Volume 1 today, and then I think I'm gonna try to read the Hacienda, and then we'll kind of like go from there. But this so far has been a medical drama. Like, if you like Grey's Anatomy, like, it's a political medical drama. It's infuriating. It makes my blood boil. But yeah, we're just getting to the part where like he's choosing to save the boy over the mayor, which is like the catalyst for the entire plot. Basically, this doctor is like the best of the best, and he has this fiance whose dad is the director. He's like the head honcho of the hospital, and he fucking sucks. And he like claims all of our main character's work to be his own. Maybe because I believe our main character is Japanese, but this takes place in Germany, so there might be something going on there, just with like cultural differences maybe, with him just like taking it. But yeah, there's been like clear messages of their politics and how they feel about certain people's lives, which is unfortunate. But he's like a good doctor, and he's here to save lives and do what doctors do. He's like the best surgeon ever. And so there was an incident with this family. The parents were shot and killed, and the twin kids were left alive, but the boy was shot in the head. And so he gets called into surgery. He's like, oh, we can do this. We got to save this boy. He's a young little boy. So he prepares for surgery. He's like getting ready to get into the thick of it, and someone comes in. It's like, director's order, you have to come help the mayor instead, and you have to save the mayor. And he's like, boss's order, my morals and previous incidents of things coming to light, I can't, and goes back to work on the kid. And that's where I'm at right now in chapter 3, is him working on the kid. So I'm excited to continue this, see where it goes for sure. I'm definitely behind on my summerween TBR, but I'm ahead on like just overall reading, which is great. I'm gonna take the dog to the vet and then go from there. Hi, so I am 164 pages into Monster Volume 1. The first 100 pages were incredibly repetitive, and an issue that's, it's not really an issue, but it's an issue for me throughout so far. It gives you so many doctor words and like going into surgery words, and I'm sitting here, doesn't watch Grey's Anatomy, doesn't know anything about surgery, and I'm just like, I'm gonna skip over all these words because I just don't care, don't get it. But besides that, I don't know where the horror is coming in. It feels like a crime manga because you've got the detective who's looking into these murders. You've got our doctor who's just like doing his best as a little doctor boy, who's also like low-key a suspect for a different murder that happened. But there's nothing scary yet except for like murder, which, you know, like when you hear about horror, that's not where your mind typically goes. So I'm hoping that it'll go somewhere. There's still like quite a ways to go, so I have hope still, but it is a bit slow. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it, and now that it's less repetitive, I like it a little bit more, but it is also time jumping a lot, and it's really confusing because like you go from like chapter 4 to chapter 5, and then apparently 9 years has spanned, but I'm not paying enough attention to the dates to catch that, so I'm just sitting here like, what? Where are we? What's happening? But besides that, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping to finish this tonight so that I can read the last word, but I'm running out of time, I think, so we'll see. But that's the hope, that's the plan. Yes. Very quickly, I finished this. I wrapped it up. I read the whole thing. Definitely more crime drama manga. I went into this with quite different expectations. Yes, I'm now behind on my last 2 books. I think I can do it. We'll see. I'll do my best to finish them both before this video goes up, which is going to be a bonus video anyway, so I've got extra time if I need it. Where does this vlog take place? I don't know. Where in time are we? No clue. If Summerween is still happening in this vlog, we can talk about that for a quick second. I have 2 books left on my Summerween TBR, even though Summerween is technically over. Yes, it's so sad. It went by really fast this year, and I'm a little bummed about it because I don't feel like I lived up my full, true Summerween potential. Like, nothing really spooky was happening. I don't know which direction I was just doing this. I'm hoping to wrap those up today so I can get my videos out. I ended up taking last night off from reading just to watch my massive watch later. Made a pretty good dent in it. That was exciting. I watched a lot of my friends' stuff that's been coming out recently, so that felt great. and I just like wasn't in the mood. I was so tired. I didn't really want to read all night, but I will finish the Hacienda first, and then I will go into the last word to round out my summerween. Oh my goodness. I guess that'll be it. I don't really have a whole lot more to update you on. Not a whole lot has been going on with me. I've just been working and reading and working on video projects that you guys don't know about yet, that I'm excited to eventually share with you all. And that's kind of the that on that. So, I will check in with you guys later for my summerween content, and until then, see you later. Yeah. Okay, hi. We are finishing this today. I have 3 hours left. I am approximately almost 60 pages in. Going good. We've like established the backstory to our female protagonist and her marriage and being in the house and like getting ready to renovate it, which here for. And then we have another perspective, which I think I knew but blocked out that information by the time I picked this up. But we have a male's perspective who I think is the priest. And it's gonna get spooky. As you can tell, it's broad daylight, so I won't get scared. I don't know if I'll actually get scared from this one. I will be interested to know how it makes me feel, but I'm really excited for it. The writing has been good so far, but I've only listened to the first 50 pages by the audiobook alone, and so I'm excited to read along and actually like get a feel for the writing and everything. The font is pretty big, so I think this will be a quick and easy read. So this will take me about 3 hours, and then I don't think I'll get to small favors just because I want to get this vlog done and out, but I have the last word, which will also take me about 3 hours. So we've got 6 hours of reading ahead of us. I am currently in the Roomies Digest reading sprints, because Katie is there and I am a supporting fan of Katie. So yeah, I'll be finishing these today, and then once I finish them, I will edit this video and get it uploaded for tomorrow. So that's great. Happy it's past summerween, but we're finishing the reading vlog. I lost my train of thought there. It's cool. So I'm gonna read. Catch you later when I have more thoughts. I'll probably check in about the 50% mark, and then when it's done. That's what I'm feeling. So, great. Alright, I have made it to the halfway mark of the Hacienda. There has been 2 scenes that are eerie and unsettling. I wouldn't necessarily go so far to say like the haunting scenes are scary, but there's very few books that actually scare me. Like, it's not super common, but it does have that gothic, eerie, haunted vibe and atmosphere, which I really adore, and I really enjoy. Hi, sweetie. Yes. Hi. And I really enjoy the atmosphere, the setting. The writing is phenomenal. I'm at the halfway mark, and ma'am, everything is going horribly wrong. That'll do. Okay, so I don't remember what I was saying anymore because I had to resituate the camera, but I really enjoy the writing in this. I enjoy the atmosphere and the setting. It is set, I want to say 1823 if my math is correct, which is after the Mexican War, and we've seen a lot of Beatrice and Andreas, who is the priest, interacting, trying to figure out whatever is going on in the hacienda, like how they can be rid of the ghost. It feels a little bit similar to the death of Jane Lawrence, like unhinged, going mad, but it's actually like paranormal, spooky things happening because of the man's past. I'm really enjoying it. Nice, sweetie. I like the writing. I like the atmosphere. It's not scary per se, but it is eerie and unsettling here and there. A lot of action happens, which I actually really enjoy. Like, it is constant hauntings, like every night. Basically, there's something going down, and I really appreciate that. And it handles that well because it's not like giving me a lot of fluff in between, which I enjoy. So I'm enjoying the action. I'm intrigued to see where the second half is gonna go. Obviously, like, it's gonna be trying to rid the ghost, but also figure out the house's past and like, why is this happening, and a mystery. So yes, I'm enjoying it. I'd say it's probably like a 4-star right now. It's kind of giving me similar feelings to how when I read the one book, not that one. It's kind of reminding me of House of Hunger because it is very like, there is stuff happening, but it feels like a slow burn. Even though like there's hauntings happening, it's not quite as slow as House of Hunger. It's not constantly satisfying, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but it's making me think of House of Hunger, just like with the slowness of the story. Like, yes, there's hauntings happening and there's action, but we are 50% in and we barely have a taste of the mystery and like what might actually be going on. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. There is like 15 minutes left of the sprint, so I'm gonna keep reading. Also, short chapters, which I love. So I'm gonna keep reading the end of this, and then I will check in then. That's how it works. Yeah. You can tell it is so much later, but I just finished the hacienda. I adore this. I thought this was really good. So I had like an hour and a half intermission. We ended up going to the lake because it was 94 degrees today. So we went to the lake with the dogs just to like get some energy out, have a little bit of fun. So that was cool. But then I came home and the Roomies Digest. We're still sprinting with everyone, which was so great. Really what I needed. And yeah, I finally finished this. Did it take much longer because we were talking for like an hour in between hour-long sprints? Absolutely. But I had a great time with them, with this book. I adored this. I truly, truly adored this. I thought it was great writing. I think that the message and everything that was like lightly thrown into this, the historical setting of this, I really enjoyed. I loved that it's a traditional haunted house story with a mystery. It gives off somewhat similar vibes to the death of Jane Lawrence and House of Hunger, which I felt polar opposites on, truly. But yeah, I just like overall, I just had a really good time with it. So yeah, I'm giving it, I think, 4 stars, but it's like a strong, maybe even high 4 stars. I had a lot of fun with this. So that's great. I'm now going to take a shower, take off this makeup, and then start the last word. Huzzah. It's gonna be great. So buckle in, boys. We're reading for the long haul. it is almost 10 o'clock. I will say that right now. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's gonna take me 3 hours to read the last word. And I want to finish a book from Readathon, which I didn't finish because I just didn't care too much, but my hoopla hold is going away, so I'm gonna also finish This Is When We Should Talk Things Out. So lots of reading, might be an all-nighter, who knows. I'll let you know though when I know. Good morning. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anything anyone could have said about this would have prepared me for what this story is and what is happening. I got halfway. I went to bed at like 1 a.m. I was so tired, but from like midnight to 1, this is one of those books where like your brain just shuts off a little bit and you just want to keep reading, just like one more chapter syndrome. So I was dealing with that last night. My cat is catching a fly. I was dealing with that last night where I didn't want to put it down. I did want to keep going. I probably could have gone longer, but I knew that I should get some sleep, and so I did. But is this good? I don't think so, but oh my god, like, I don't know how to talk about this. It jumps into the action rather quickly. So like you have the prologue where it's her leaving this 1-star review and having this back and forth with this author who goes by a pen name. We don't know who he is really, but he like messages her and he's like, take down your 1-star review. Like, I'm telling you, this is not an ask. I'm demanding you do it, which, ew, sir, you're disgusting. But yeah, so it hasn't had like a lot of conversation about like reviews being for readers, and it's not saying like authors shouldn't be in reviewer spaces, and it hasn't like gone into those discussions, which I was kind of hoping for a little bit. I know that this tries to do something because Kayla in her video said that it was doing something, and I've forgotten what that something is. I know it's critiquing the genre, but like I don't remember what she said or how. So once I finish this, I'll rewatch that part of her video, and maybe I'll be a bit bigger brain, unless I figure it out by the end. Who knows? Probably not. But yeah, so you jump into the, oh my goodness, ma'am. You jump into the action rather quickly because she is house sitting for like 3 months on the beach, a little beach house in Washington. So it's giving me stormy Pacific Northwest vibes, which I love. So that's a bonus. And she has her dog. I did know going into this that the dog survives and the dog is okay, even though the dog's life has been on the line multiple times. But I know that there's also her neighbor across the way, and they have whiteboards and telescopes, and that's how they communicate with each other. They play a lot of hangman. She's learning more about his past, and then we're also slowly discovering her troubled past, why she's run away from her life, why she is living this little nomad life of house sitting, random places, bouncing from place to place. She's got a backpack full of rocks. So that's interesting. And then it just very quickly becomes a murder book. So we have a book within a book. This is such a hoot. So I'm gonna keep reading this. I will check in at the end. I might cut out everything I just said in case that feels too spoilery. I haven't decided yet. I'm 156 pages in. I'm starting chapter 15. Oh, what a time. Oh, what a time. What a hoot. What a hoot of a time. All right. She's done. Like 2 hours later, probably. I've finally wrapped this up. This is funny. This isn't like meant to be. It's taken serious. It's not like a traditional thriller at all. I do appreciate the end of his author's note. He's like, "Dear readers, this is not a threat, I promise." Hilarious. I laughed a lot. It was just like a really silly, fun time. But the last 70 pages where he's just throwing twist after twist after twist after twist, like it wouldn't end. And you are guaranteed the dog safety. It does feel like a happily ever after type of story, even though it's not a happily ever after type of story, but you feel satisfied by the end. And there's definitely things that I didn't like about this. One of them being the mental health trope. I don't know if he did that for commentary purposes, or what the intention of that necessarily was, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. But I also kind of get why that was the case, because spoilers. Overall, though, I thought it was a fun time. It could have ended sooner. I thought the first 200 or so pages were a lot of just fun, silly, campy thriller slasher almost, where like she's fighting for her life with this killer and also author. I do wish there was a bit more commentary on like reviewer spaces, but I get it. Overall though, it's a fun time. I have no idea what I'm gonna rate this though. I need to run it through Compile. I have a feeling it's gonna come out to be a 4, maybe a 3.5, probably a 4 though. Not a high 4, but a low 4, because it was fun. It's very entertaining. It's fast paced. It really like kicks off soon. There's not a lot of build up to any action. Like it's just action. It's just go go go. And I do appreciate that. So yeah, I can't give it 5 stars in my own right mind, but I do think it's probably 4 stars. I'm definitely interested in reading No Exit now from this author, because that's like their best work. That's the one everyone loves. That's the reason why this was so highly anticipated. So yes, I am intrigued, but that's the last 2 of the official TBR done. It is 12, and I want to get this video up today, so I don't think, I don't know. I think this video is going to go up later. I think I'm going to start reading, because I'm in Sarah's sprints, I think I'm going to start reading This Is When We Should Talk Things Out, because I want to say I have like 80 pages left maybe, so hopefully I can finish that pretty quickly and then get this edited. So that's the plan. That's what's going on. Check in at the end of that and then we'll close out the video. So I can't recall if I've talked about this book or not in this vlog, because this vlog spanned for a while now. But this was the pick for Horror-a-thon this year, hosted by, or this month I guess. It's a bi-monthly readathon where Ashley and a co-host do sprints for a little bit. They watch a movie the next day. You read as much horror as you can, or what I do is I just try and read the buddy read, which this is what it was. I got like 20 pages in. I wasn't really feeling it and I had other things to prioritize, but I'm 25% in and it's really just been set up. It's just about Miller and her mom Sylvie, who are going on a mother-daughter bonding trip. They're estranged, they're not very close, and they are going up north into the mountains for a little like girls retreat to see if they can fix their connection. Miller is leaving her girlfriend behind, and her girlfriend's super anti this trip, doesn't trust it, doesn't think that it's good for her mental health, doesn't think she should go, but she's going anyway because she kind of wants closure or to try and mend this relationship, and they've just been bickering and not having a great time. And I don't know what more this story is going to be about or what it's going to entail, so I'm intrigued, but I'm a little bored, but it's short, so I think it's fine, but I'll keep you posted. I'm so unwell, I could throw up. My stomach hurts. Highly recommend. This is where we talk things out. Caitlin, are you okay? Oh my god, mommy issues to the next level. What the fuck? Oh my god, I knew it was going. I knew the directions that we were headed. I knew what was to come, and I'm still gagged by it. Oh my god. I'm horrified. This is my nightmare. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm unwell. I'm unwell. I recommend this. It is a very short horror, and holy shit, is it horror. I hate it. I hate it so much. And it says the end. Well, it continues, and I need to know what's gonna happen because I'm unwell. Oh my god. Florence, please save me. What the hell? Okay. Anyway, that's it. Oh. That's it for summerween. I can't think. So I ended up reading, 6 things? I read Stolen Tongues, which I really enjoyed, We Spread, which I was not smart enough for, Monster Volume 1, which was rather enjoyable, definitely more of a drama, medical crime drama, The Hacienda, and The Last Word, and then wrap this up with This Is Where We Talk Things Out. Holy cow, what a good reading vlog. This definitely took me longer because I had, well, you know, you work for one, and then the weekend comes and you can actually do the reading, and then time flies by and you can't do it during the week again, so you have to wait for the next weekend. Anywho, better late than never. I done did it. Summerween went by so fast this year, but it's one of my favorite readathons because so many people participate. I find so many new channels to subscribe to because they're vlogging for it, and it's just like a really good community-based readathon. It's very widespread in the community, so it just makes it for a lot of fun. But at the same time, I'm behind on the bandwagon, so it's like, oh no, is it too late? Am I the problem? But it was a lot of fun this year. I do kind of wish that it fell just at like a slightly different time for me, just because I was a little bit too busy to fully participate and be so active in the community. But at the end of the day, it was so much fun. I had a great time. I had mostly 4-star reads, which is pretty impeccable. I think I'm giving This Is Where We Should Talk Things Out 5 stars because I had visceral reactions the entire time. Nothing was surprising, like I knew what was gonna happen, where it was going, but it still had me on the edge of my seat, just so unsettled. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for hanging out and watching. I hope that you had a good summerween and had some successes. Let me know what your best read was. If there's any horrors or thrillers that I should put on my TBR, I would be very curious to know. But until next time, bye.